The Puppet Master's Theater and the Mad Lab are dungeons that have been in the game since its original creation, but now they're really out of date. These two dungeons each give one potion, an attack, and a whiz respectively, and have decent loot, but really, no one runs them anymore. It's very rare that I will see one drop and that someone goes into it the way that people go into sprite worlds and abysses. The Puppet Master's Theater has the Harley Quinn armor and the Prism of Dancing Swords along with its STs. And while these were very coveted items many years ago, no one uses them anymore because of how easy it is to get top tier items and 4 your character with endgame loot. And then there's the Mad Lab dropping its one whiz and a defense if you do the tea room, as well as the Fulmy, which is really the only thing in here that is that worth getting. Everything else is just fodder. There's a pet skin, there's STs, but none of it is good. Obviously, the only reason anyone does a dungeon is for the loot. There's something in the loot that they want, but these dungeons are very much lacking in terms of this, whereas other dungeons seem to have gotten an upgrade over time. For instance, the Abyss of Demons has many STs, there are pet skins, there's a new sheath that's actually pretty good. The Sprite World has gotten a ton of white bags for some reason, and the Planewalker is really good. And dungeons like the Magic Woods and the Cursed Library drop 2 stat potions instead of just 1. These are all things that could really improve the Mad Lab and the Puppet Master's Theater. These two dungeons are about the same difficulty as the Cursed Library, and yet you only get half the guaranteed loot. Of course, most players don't actually need just normal stat potions, because they have a ton of 8/8s. But these are mid-level dungeons for mid-level players, and players who aren't running a ton of endgame dungeons don't have as easy access to such stat potions. So I think each of these should definitely have a second guaranteed stat pot from the boss, because they are interesting and fun to run. The Mad Lab's boss is really different from any other in that he doesn't shoot shots by himself. And the Puppet Master's Theater is pretty cool too. But the Mad Lab especially, with the tea room mechanic of having to destroy all of the power coils to open the door. It's a very unique dungeon, and it's fun to do, but there just isn't anything in it that's worth doing it for. So basically, give me more loot, Deca.